All right, I'm here today with our dear friend Hannah Badi to talk a little bit about her story and about her activities in Nepal. So first, Hannah, I've heard a lot about your background, but maybe you could just share a little bit about where you're from, what the conditions were when you were rescued, and how you came to be where you are today.
Thank you so much for asking, and I'm so happy to share my story. And so I'm come from the Dalit community, and it's called Badi. So we have a like Dalit community. Among the Dalit community, so there's another community. They are like it's called like marginalized community. So it's like considered as a burden of the society, and then we consider as an untouchable people group in Nepal. So because of that our people group, it's called Badi, Badi, I mean Badi. So that we're not allowed to go to school, we're not allowed to have like any kind of job opportunities in the other society, because just because of that we were untouchable. So like the untouchable is enough word to describe like all the situations. So because of that, like our parents were not able to have a job or to feed us. So, and because of that, all the kind of problems that our people group, they start like involving in as a sex slave, or like and human trafficking, because there was only one that option to survive, through selling their daughters, through selling their wives, or like the all the children or women's are in the home. So women's become like more like main like income source in the family. So in my family, in the our body community, that if you have like more girls, like you are like, okay, you are like middle class family now, because you have a more girls, that every day you're gonna get a food. But like if you don't have a daughter, you're poor. So, and like in my family, we were like seven girls and one brother. So, and then as in our community, I like our family is kind of like is going to be like my parents were thinking, oh, now we're gonna be in a middle class family. We're gonna have a food, like we're gonna survive, because I have like seven, daughters. So, but like so what happens is in my community, that like anyone can sell anyone. Like, I mean, you cannot trust, like, let's say your relatives, your maybe brother-in-law, your father-in-law, or like or your own father will sell their daughters, like your brother will sell their the sister. So that's happened to my family. Like my sister was sold out. My the first, the child of our family, my sister was sold out when she was 8 years old. Like from one of my relatives, he sold her out. And so my another two sisters were also sold out from one of like some of our relatives. And but my parents were not able to, because they were kidnapped and sold out into the brothel. But like after 3 I was a fourth child, and it was my turn. When I was in a village, I was in the what happens is in Badi family, that you were when you were kids, you were prepared to go to India or brothel or sell yourself, right? So I was prepared to go to India, or like start like selling myself in the villages. But by the grace of God, or like I don't know, it's called that I was like rescued when I was 9 years old. That from the organization called like Light House Foundation Nepal. And then I was I was saved, and I got opportunity to like go to school, have all kind of education, like everything. And I started like understanding the value of the education. And then I started like uh, like when you get opportunities, that yes, you can like feel that as a human being, and as a like you can feel the free, and then you have a right to define what you can do.
Yeah.
So, and but I never felt that when I was in a village. I was treated like animals, like, I mean, less than animals. So, I mean, but like when I got to know that, okay, I have a value. I'm also human being, and I can find my own identity. So, and so then after that, then I started work.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about
Yes.
the work you're doing today.
So yes, and like like I was rescued and I got education, like everything, but that was not enough, because my sister were like still they were in a brothel. And so I was hearing like a lot of stories about like my sister is like beat or like she have a, they have like children, like all kind of things, and that was like punching me every single night, and then I was getting all kind of trauma, like a lot of things that I was, whatever I was been through in the village when I was in a village. And still now I'm 28 years old, like like still I get those kind of trauma. So but at the same time I always wanted to help those kind of girls, like I wanted to save other girls, like not to have the things that what I suffer. So but it was like I think I was preparing myself, and like lots of people that they were helping me to build myself first to start this. So and after I went to US, I got full ride scholarship, and so like I went there to study. And then but after that, like one day I felt like, no, I'm not gonna stay here for 5 years, not to doing anything, just to focus on myself. I'm gonna be selfish. So I come back to Nepal, and then I started a program. It's called Himalayan Entrepreneur Resources. That through Himalayan Entrepreneur Resources, we they provide sanitary kits for free among the women around the Nepal. So our main focus is to take care of like empowerment women's that who have been treated poorly when they are on a period, and then they are like just to call that, oh, they had a like the really bad past life, that's why now they're bleeding, that this is how the people they think about the period. So we wanted to change their mindset, because I was suffering, my mom was suffering, and so I wanted to just help this community to the women's the change their mindset about the period and their body. So and not only that, that was not only enough, then we started another program. It's called Our Home Nepal. So that we can do, so we rescue girls who have been that trafficked, and then also like who are at risk. So we rescue those the girls and bring them, and then put them in a safe shelter, and then providing them higher education, or like any kind of education what they want to. And then and at the same time the education was not enough. So that the like even the government was saying, like after like finishing grade 10, the girls have to leave the organization or like where they're staying. So they have to go back to villages. So what happens is when they go back to village, they are just 17, 16 years old. And then I was feelings like that. I think that we're preparing the girls to go back to the village, and again you sold out, right? You're just preparing. So but I wanted to do something before girls they go travel back to the village. I wanted to stop them in there, to providing them like the opportunities that where they can like feel safe, and like think about their their future, and like whatever the dream is they're carrying. So when they rescued, they always, when they start going to school, the girls they start like having dreams, like I did. So what happens is every time when their dreams, like, so it get bigger and bigger and bigger when they are in grade 10, and their dream closed there, because now they're going back to the village, the same place where they were like sold out, the place where they were treated poorly, the place where they were abused. Like it's all kind of things is there. So we're like pushing the girls in that kind of environment. That's why like we started this Our Home Nepal program, that where girls they can stay there more longer, and then build themselves, be strong enough to fight the against whatever the going on in front of them, and fight with their parents sometime, and say no to the human trafficking. And so and then we give them all kind of that trainings. And the most important things is we provide a vocational training, or like help them to start their own businesses, give them like trainings, and all kind of skill that they can be independent, and then be strong enough to like stay in the community where they feel safe. So we cannot support the girls like their whole life, but at least we can support them to build their like the life in a certain point that where they are vulnerable, where they feel like I cannot take a step like in this community, where that they think that I don't belongs to. So
you're giving them opportunities
yes,
to do
so yes,
other other jobs, other academic work,
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
it might be.
Yes.
And one of the things that I think you said to me before
Uh-huh.
is when these girls, if they go back to the village at age
Yes.
16, 17,
Yeah.
they've been educated here with
Yes.
Light House Foundation. They
Yes.
speak at good English. They have good hygiene.
Yes.
So actually, they're even potentially more at risk because they're
Yes.
considered higher.
They are
higher
like
value.
they are in a like very high demand. We have already, that my program was not started. The back, like 2 years ago, we sent the girls right because we had no right to keep the girls in the hostel. Lighthouse sent the girls. So what I find out because I travel to doing health and hygiene program. When I travel, like I saw like some of the girls from the lighthouse who finished grade 10, and they were just standing on a street putting lots of makeup on, like they were like smiling, and I was like, why are you here? And their answer was the same thing, that we didn't get what we expect from our parents. Now we're feeding them.
It's the same old cycle.
Yes, it's the same things happening. That's the reason that our work it was like need to happen this work. So it was really needed.
And one of the points you referred to earlier is the caste system,
Yes.
is being Dalit, being untouchable.
Yes.
And when I've spoken to people in Nepal and outside Nepal about this, people say to me, "Oh, it's changing. The younger generation, they don't care so much."
Yeah.
But I think your experience practically is not that. It's
No, totally not that, because we experience this every single day. Like till now, I'm educated. I'm like strong enough to tell the people, hey, this is wrong. But still I suffer. Still I get treated like poorly. Still the people, they change their face whenever they heard my last name.
Yeah. And we talked about this the other day. Some might say, why don't you just change your name?
Oh yes, even the government is saying like, okay, you can change the name and then put some high caste like last name, right? I think there's also discrimination because you are still asking us to keep your name.
Yeah.
Like, but we don't want to change our name. We're asking you to change the situations, help us to, build the like Badi community or like our society or mindset of people, like not a last name, because we are proud to be a Badi. That's the gift from my dad. I'm never gonna change it. So, and I wanna like just to know, like people to know, like that through our work, through our hard work, like not just to like get a sympathy or like people say like, oh, this is a body girl, like look at what she's doing. But we wanna like people to recognize us with our own identity. Like that's why we don't wanna change it.
No, and I think that's hugely important. You want to break down the barriers, not go around them. I think that's hugely important. So we've talked a little bit about your dreams and your goals for the Badi community and other, not just Badi, other untouchable communities. What would one of those big dreams be?
I have lots of dreams, but I'll just say like let's say highlights one.
Yeah, highlight reel.
Because that our community is still that they are now people are talking about advanced community and all that. We're not even like like advanced of like the A word from advanced, right? We're not. We don't even like our community have not even get like basic human right. So we can't even talk about like education and those kind of things, right? So my dream is to so that what I realized when I was rescued, I was, I started going to school. Then I realized that inside of the school there are a lot of things that you can learn from and build yourself to fight with the community. So my main goal is to give like enough education to my community or Dalit community where they can be educated and fight with for their rights. So that's the reason I really want. It's my dream that to open like a school, like one or two. I don't know how many, but like I want to like start like school to provide a safe place and that good like the school environment for the like Dalit and like Badi community children, that where they go and that not to feel discriminated and not to think about like, hey, what's like who gonna beat you up, like who gonna say like, okay, you cannot touch the water, like where that your teacher will say like, oh, you're Badi girls and like they touch you everywhere. Like I want to like provide that kind of environment where they can feel safe, and like, and I really was, my dream is like, I want like high caste people's children also come to our school, like just to feel like what's the like, the equality means. And I want to change their mindset of the equality. It's this is the equal, what's
Yeah.
called the equality.
Equality, yeah.
Yes. So I want to like build the schools that where our girls can be like girls or boys, and that feel safe and have good education. And then also like I really want the government said like, well done, like yes, the Badi community and Badi people did this. Like I really want that. And other things is I really wanna open like training centers, either like West Nepal and East Nepal, where the single mother from Badi community, so they can come there and then learn something, let's say like different kind of vocational training, and that where that they can feed their kids and they don't have to go back to the brothel to sell themselves, and they don't have to go to on the street and or like bus park or like in the restaurant just to say like, hey, come and buy me. So there are lots of women, single mothers, like who have been involved in prostitution like so long time. Like let's say like they were sold out. As example, they were sold out in 8 years old, right? When they were 8 years old, and then they work till they are 35. So when you get older, like nobody gonna buy you.
Yeah.
They are not interested. So after that, like after 35, like they get like homeless, they commit suicide, like and they lose their mind, like a lot of things, they sell themselves for the one packet of biscuit in that time, like, hey, give me like one packet biscuit that I'll give you myself. So I want to provide this kind of like the that the some skills for the women who have been involved in this kind of things, and have most of the women have lots of children, because they're not educated enough when they are like working in the villages, and like they don't know like how to like control birth and like lots of things. Now we're teaching, but it's gonna take a long time to like teach them, give them like enough education about it. So that's the reason they have like lot of children, and the mother need to work till she die, like to just to feed their kids. And then what happens is the cycles repeat there. So this a mother will work to feed all the children in the house. When her daughter, if she have a daughter, she need to grow up seeing her mother, and then like take care of her business, what she have like into when she is like 8 9 years old. So what we want to create the environment that where women's go like learn like skill and vocational training and all kind of things, that her daughter can follow her mother to say like, hey, yes, I can do this. So
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
yes.
And do you work, I assume you work closely with government agencies
Yes.
on this,
Yes.
and it is a priority
Yes.
for the government to
Yes.
address these issues.
Yes.
They recognize trafficking is a problem globally. It's
Yes.
not just here, but it is
Yeah.
a particularly acute problem in the more
Yeah.
remote rural areas
Yes.
in Nepal.
Yeah. It is.
But you find the government are good partners here?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes good, sometimes it's not. So we have been, like requesting government like many times to involve in our work. Maybe just the small support, like maybe let's say like just to like give us some security when we're going to rescue girls. But sometimes what happens is like last time, that when we went, because I'm also like that national youth, that we have a national body youth commission that I'm a president of, so we went there and we're asking like, hey, where's there some like training for the youth, body youth, and like a lot of things we're asking, and they say like, we're failed. Literally they say like,
Wow.
okay, I'll tell you one thing. Then our former prime minister of Nepal, they're like Badi people, they gather, okay, they went to his office and they shared their problems. You know what happens, what he said? Oh, Badi people, they live in Nepal. He asked for a
Wow. Wow.
So the question was enough for us to like think that, okay, we're not getting anything.
And you have to educate in
Yes.
both directions.
Yes.
You have to
So
educate.
that's the reason like
Yeah,
we had
you're-
to like educate both different
Yeah.
government. Like now they have been like recognizing our work because we have been involved in a lot of things. So now like they are like more positive with our work, what we are up to, and with the Light House or her program and our home Nepal, like definitely. So, and then that's the reason. That's my another goal is to share my story or like our successful story to tell the to government also in the community, being a, like as an example of the like for other girls and for other the citizens that who have been thinking that okay, I mean like I'm the only one like that who's doing this right now. I'm the first generation of my community to like having study and studying the businesses and like helping them. But there's like the second generation also, like there is a like very high dropout school, like that things is going on right now because you go to school, but like what about like before you go to school you have to eat like lunch, so there is no lunch. So are you going to school or you're gonna provide the food? So that's the questions, right? So and our focus is to educate the children and the parents also to changing their mindset of the thinking that okay the prostitution is only one option.
Yeah,
So
and it takes time.
yes, it takes time,
Generational
but
change,
yes,
but
yes,
and one final question. Obviously, with Lighthouse and with your program,
yeah,
you're rescuing women who have been trafficked, either domestically or into
yes,
India. I
yes,
understand. But also, I know quite a number of the children within Lighthouse
yeah,
are not directly
uh-huh,
trafficked, but maybe it was their mother who
uh-huh,
had the baby and
yeah,
discarded it, for
yes,
example. So I think it's really important that people understand it's not just the women or the girls who are trafficked themselves. It's
no,
it spreads further than that. The impact
yeah,
on families,
oh
on
yes,
children,
yes, oh
and we're able to help
yes.
some of them.
Okay,
But
I mean, we don't have to say some of them. Let's talk about my sister.
yeah,
My three sisters were rescued. They have, okay, one of my sisters have 5 children. Now it's the sixth. She's pregnant, like was we
yeah,
rescued. She have 6 children. When we rescue my sister, after like 2 months later, that we rescue her all the babies also. So the mother was in a different brothel in India. It's called GB Road, and then children were in a different brothel. It's called Mire. So there's like my sister have 5 girls. They were all prepared to like from the childhood they were forcing like brothel owner was forcing our girls to just to go and check the girls while they are like with the man and to prepare themselves. So we rescue all of them. So now like they are going to school. That one of like my sister, that her daughter is now she's 22 years old. Like I mean, we rescued her when she was I think 6 7 years old. So she was prepared of like everything. She knew it everything. She grew up in the brothel. So everything. Now she finished her education, grade 12. Now she's helping her program to help other girls.
amazing.
Like
Yeah,
our home Nepal. And then now she take care of like our finance and everything. And she's brilliant. Like she's so talented. And then what happens? Now she's helping her own the siblings also. So this is how that when you rescue one girl, that impact her family and like all the siblings, so that she educate her family. Like so I did same thing, right? I was the only first child from my family who were rescued when I was 9 years old, and then after me, I rescue my three sister, and the another my little sister. My brother is in a safe place right now, and then my parents right now like they are like working, and they are like they're so proud of us.
no,
And
it's
now
it's inspiring.
they
No,
are
it is.
helping the other community who's thinking that selling daughter is an easy one. So now my father, he go to house and educate the
Oh,
most of the
amazing.
man
Yeah.
like that. Hey, like okay, my daughter has started work. If you want to send your daughter for education for training, here is the contact. So this is
Yeah.
how it's impact.
Yeah, and
So
we're just going to keep
yes,
building momentum
yes,
and scaling up.
yes,
That's great. Okay,
yes.
well, look, thank you so much, Hannah.